Hello, dear friends. Greetings from the Czech Republic and Uganda. We're happy to welcome you on ALLATRA TV Africa. If we look out of the window, we see the modern society of the 21st century, but still some people live in the conditions which are not acceptable for the modern society. Such things as lack of water, food, inaccessibility of education, healthcare should be far forgotten. Our planet has all the resources for us to live prosperously and comfortably. And here we are to say that there is a way out of this consumer format. And this way is the creative society, such a society where every person would feel happy, comfortable, and secure. Today's discussion with the students of Makerere University is about the role of youth in building the creative society. We will find out more about our guests and together talk about the foundations of the creative society, the educational system, and the responsibility of every person, because each and every person on earth is responsible for the society we live in. Today, we also continue testing the theory of 6 handshakes, according to which all people on earth know each other through 6 or even less social connections, and proving this theory working perfectly. In today's live conversation, we meet nice people from Uganda, invited by Edmund Walusimbi, who participated in our previous broadcast, and today he kindly agreed to co-host the show. Hi Edmund, how are you?
Yes, hello Taisha. I'm doing well, and it's great having all of you watching this broadcast, tuning into the Creative Society. So Motweet, the international public movement of ALLATRA, it actually launched a new project called the Creative Society, where we have people coming in from more than 180 countries to provide their views on how they envision our creative society. More to it, how we can envision a world of peace, happiness, and harmony. And well, today we have 2 guests coming in from Uganda. And our first guest is Emmanuel Akandwanaho. He is a student at Makerere University, pursuing a bachelor's degree in land economics. More to it, he is also the founder of the Makerere Gavelclub and also co-founder of MiahUg Uganda. He is also a public speaker within the Makerere University Association for Surveying Students. Great having you here, Emma. We also have Martha Teze Namlondo today as one of our guests. She's also a student at Makerere University, pursuing a bachelor's degree in development studies. She also serves on the mentorship class as the executive board member and head of their finance tribe. Well, Teze is also an events manager for a company that she runs called Fancy Tables Uganda. It's great having you all here, and well, back to you, Taisha.
Thank you. Hello, guys. How are you doing? Your microphone is muted.
Oh yeah, we're great. We're great. It's a great opportunity to be here and to share with ALLATRA TV. And it's great to have to discuss how the youth can contribute to creating the creative society. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, so my due privilege to be part of ALLATRA TV and also to share my views and thoughts on how we as youth build a creative society. Being a youth as a Ugandan, Uganda almost has the largest population being taken up by the youth, taking up over 80%. It is my due privilege to be part of ALLATRA TV to share my thoughts on how we can build a creative society. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. I can feel these positive vibes from Uganda coming over here to Europe. Thank you. Yeah. And as always, before we start, I'd like to address also our dear viewers. Please join our live conversation and feel free to leave your comments in the live chat below this video. Please share it and invite your friends. And of course, your interesting questions are welcome. We will read them to our guests at the end of the broadcast. And I would like to start our conversation, our live broadcast, with the first question to you guys. It is, how do you envision the creative society, such a society where you would feel happy, where you, your loved ones, and everyone in the world would live comfortably? Jose, would you start, please?
Yes. What I see as a creative society is a society where everybody is at harmony with, everybody is happy with themselves, and everybody is fulfilled themselves, and a society where people are free to receive the basics, food, shelter, and clothing. In this society where people do not strive to get this, they'll be able not to fight with each other or to have any conflicts within themselves, and this will help them to be happy, and therefore will have conflicts in the world. Yeah.
Thank you. What do you think? How do you envision creative?
Yeah, to me, in a creative society, what I would imagine, I would like to first give an example, is that in the setup where I grew up in, you grow up with a mindset of to get anything in life, there has to be someone losing, whereas someone has to win. But as I've grown up, I've got to, through the self-help books that I've got to read, you get to learn that in this world there's abundance, and everyone should have abundance in their life, be it education, be it food, all these basic needs that a person can have. Should it be education, should it be food, should it be water? Everyone deserves to feel abundant in their lives, rather than having a mindset of to do anything, maybe to get food or to get the wealth that you need, you have to first steal from someone, or maybe do something that is fishy that someone may not actually understand, that you have to take something from someone to gain something, rather than it always has to be a win-win situation. And because I was recently reading a book about give and take, and I was really mesmerized at the fact that a society, for us to grow as a society that is creative, a creative society, we have to be more givers than takers, not just even matchers, that I give you something, I expect something back, but I need to give you with an open heart, with an open mind. I do not expect anything back, but I give you all something. And that's how we were able to become more creative and feel abundant in our very own, rather than feeling every time we need to take and take and take and take. And I believe with that, if at all, we can all have a mindset of abundance, and we also get to understand that we can always give, let it be with a little we have, or the knowledge we can share, we can build a creative society. That's my take on it.
Wow, amazing concept there to do with being a giver. And well, thanks for sharing it, Emma. So I'd also like to ask Martha Teze a question today. We noticed from your social media that you're a person who is socially active in different projects and inspiring others. And well, would like to really find out more, what is your motivation? What drives you in your daily life as a person?
What mostly drives me is to see someone else happy, to do something that will create a positive impact in society. Yeah. So there are so many people who have issues, maybe issues with lack of water, maybe issues with education, issues with maybe, family, or whatever. There are so many issues in society that can be dealt with. What drives me to see a change, because I know from the theory again that Taya introduced to us as 6 handshakes. I know that if I do something, if I talk, or if I create awareness on a specific problem, who it affects is able to affect someone else and affect someone else. And at the end of the day, I know that in society we can solve every problem by talking, because we all have a voice, we all have opinions, and we shouldn't sit back and just say, okay, I'm just one person, how much impact can I create? You understand? It starts with you as a young person to talk up on issues in society. And I feel like at the end of the day, when you see that there's a change, that's what keeps driving you. That the fulfillment it brings in you is what keeps driving you to try and solve as many issues as possible. Like Emma noted, yeah, there's so much abundance, and whenever you do something and it's fulfilling, and you're always giving, and there's positive impact, you're always willing to give, and the cup that you fill is also always willing to fill another cup, and it just goes on. And at the end of the day, we shall all have an ideal society which we are willing to live in. Yeah, other than the consumeristic society that it's a give and take. This is give and give and give. We can change the kind of society that we are living in by continuing to give rather than to the exchange of give and take, and it's fulfilling, to be honest. Yeah.
Thank you, Teze, for this understanding. It's our personal obligation, right, to speak up and to start the change within ourselves. So the first change is the change within. Thank you. And now it's the question for Emma. We noticed from your social media that you have a constant track in advocating for public speaking under the Makerere Gavelclub, and also being a speaker in Makerere University Association of Serving Students. And from your perspective, what role does empowering people to learn how to speak in public play in creating a creative society?
Oh, thank you so much. To me, what I would say on the power of public speaking is that when you have the ability to speak, it builds a lot of your personal and self-esteem, your personal confidence and self-esteem, that to be able to approach people in the things that you can do.
Emma, we lost you. Can you hear us? Just maybe something happened to the connection.
No, sorry about that. So I was saying that with the power of public speaking, you can be able to influence people, be a better leader. And one thing that I realized with public speaking on my part is that you learn to be empathetic with other people. That you learn, by the time you're speaking, you're giving your voice out there. You may not necessarily have to speak your own personal story. It can be someone else's story that you get to the platform. You have the ability to share your voice. And for me, when I was starting Makerere Gavelclub, my main purpose was everyone has a story, and we live in a world of stories. Every person, no matter your lifestyle, everything that you live up to, you live with a story. So how can you have your story being aired out? No matter your financial or economic background, but you can come on this platform, you are equipped with the ability to share your story, because when you have the ability to speak and communicate effectively, you can impact lives. You never know, just because you must have gone through an experience that when you share it with me, I get to learn a lot. So through Gavelclub, I learned that at times we see the outlook of people, we don't get to know them deeper, not until we listen to their stories. So at Gavelclub, we normally have a first speech, let me say, which is an icebreaker. Someone gives their background or their themselves about themselves. And I'm always astonished by my first perspective of how I see someone and take them to be that way. But then when they share their personal story, you get to view them from another look, rather than you assume maybe this person can be selfish, or maybe he's arrogant or she's arrogant. You get to understand where they come from, and then you get a clear mindset on how you can approach people and build better connections. That's, for me, that's why I'm seeing, and I really urge society that we create a community whereby everyone, even if you are a farmer, even if you are a tech person, but you all come as a community, listen to each other's stories. What do they have to tell and what do they have to share? And that's all.
Wow. And wow, I certainly agree with you, Emma. That's quite something powerful in regards to public speaking and giving people that whole opportunity to be able to actually speak and share their stories. Thank you, Emma. So, well, back to Teze. when we were actually checking through your social media, we noticed that around last year, during Christmas holiday, you took off time to actually volunteer and participate in a program within the beautiful country of Rwanda. And from your experience, you said that this made your perspectives concerning life way broader. It actually opened up your mind, and you found it that we as youth actually have a role we can play in solving challenges within our communities. And well, my question to you is more of what's the role of youth in developing a better society of freedom, happiness, and also could you basically share with us more about your experience in Rwanda?
All right. I think let me start with my experience, then I go to the role. I don't know whether that makes sense, but let me do that. I traveled to Rwanda under ISEC, Uganda, to go on a project that was about better education. It was about education. So my role was to teach English to a group of cyclists. It was a national cycling team in Rwanda. Yeah, so now they had a problem. Their problem was that most people in Rwanda speak mostly their local language and French and less of English. So, but this team travels across the world to compete with different countries, and they can't even do the basic introduction of my name is, or I'm this years old, or the basic introduction. So my role was to chip in and teach them English. Now, here I am, I've never taught English. But I said this is a problem and I need to come in as a young person to fix it. So the beauty with ISEC is that it takes you to a different country. So you experience their culture, you experience how different, how they live their lives really. Because I can't say as humans that we are different, we're actually not different, but you experience their culture, and yeah, there's a lot to learn. I should say it developed me as a person a lot. It developed me as a person a lot, but then as you're developing, you're also impacting the society. You're solving a problem. You're getting someone from you're trying to solve a problem, okay? So from there, my role basically in society was, here is the problem. Someone is not happy about what they are. Chip in, make them happier so that as they work with their daily lives, they're better people. You have a skill, use it, sit back and say, okay, let me wait and wait for someone who can pay me. But instead you go and volunteer, and all I can say about it is that it's very, very fulfilling to give when your cup is full, to always give. And I should say it was a great experience that I hope that all the youth can find something that they feel comfortable with, to volunteer or to find a problem in society that they can solve. For example, if maybe there's a problem with plastics in your maybe volunteer to start up something, collecting that plastic and doing something with it, recycling or whatever. There's so much that we want to live in the future for our children and the generations to come. So I feel like, yeah, there's a lot.
Thank you, Tessa. And I really liked, as you said, that as people, as humans, we don't differ, right? We may live in different countries and our traditions, our culture may differ, but it's just fulfilling us when we find out more about different cultures, about their experience. We just can implement it on our place where we live, in our places, and together come out with something bigger, better, and make this planet a better place for everyone. And I'd like to ask Emmanuel, what do you think about the role of youth in building the creative society?
Okay, I want to first hint on what Martha said about giving. one thing I was listening to a video by Simon Selleck, and he was noticing that the moment you give, you're always entitled to that happiness. You always give. Every time you give, that fulfillment that you get, and you're always entitled to it, and that's how the laws of the universe operate. And then he gave a story, was relating to a story of there was a street lady who used to sell goodwill, and she used to earn about $30 to $40 per week, which was quite very little. So he came up, he wanted to help out with the lady. So the lady had that poster, like a tag where she would write how to get customers, why should people buy from her, all these things. And then he decided to change her notice. And this is what he wrote. When he changed the lady's notice, the lady made $2. She made $40 in the next 2 hours on the other day. And then the note was saying that if you give once a month, please remember me. And this changed the perspective of how people were buying from her goodwill, and they felt like they were building a connection with her. And this brings me to my whole topic of that in everything that we do as the youth, we always need to have a deeper sense of meaning, or have a deeper attachment to something that you want to give in this world. That when you give back to society, that you as a person, you have a purpose that you need to fulfill. And going back to give my personal experience, why I started public speaking, and why I really got involved in starting Gavelclub. I was at the time, it was in 2018, I was really a bit lost in the world, looking for what you as a person can give to the world. And I was really lost. So one time I was sitting with my dad, and we were really conversing. He was telling me a story. Then he reminded me of when I was a little boy. I was about 4 years old, and during that time he was about to graduate. And during that time I was sick, seriously ill. I was on drip, and everyone thought that I was going to die. But then on the final day of his graduation, apparently I woke up very fine. And it was that day that I gave a speech as a little boy that I'm told I don't remember. I remember they were telling me that, you say that when you grow up, you want to be better than your dad and even exceed more. Then this thing, when he said it, it haunted me, and I asked myself, how can a little boy of 4 years could have spoken among a congregation of over, let me say, 40 people? So I was intrigued, what if? So that means I can literally speak and get an impact. And when I was doing an assessment of where every time that I spoke, when I was still in high school, the first time I gave my testimony, everyone felt so attached. They felt like, Emma is really good. The first time I spoke before the school, but I think I need to take this into another level and make sure that it has a deeper meaning to someone out there, that you get to come together. And the second thing that I would want us, like the youth, to look at is to learn to be empathetic with one another. We are in this society whereby everything is with social media. You always want to post anything on your social media that shows you successful. Yeah, yet we forget that we do not upload our failures. So you always get anxious. Because at times also, you're going through your phone, you see all your friends are going out, they're doing these amazing things. They're having a talk show on ALLATRA TV, and you're also not part. You're wondering, what? Am I really making any progress in life? And it haunts you. So we need to understand the deeper self of ours. Because these things, when I started on my journey of reading personal development, reading about the self-books, and I was questioning, why doesn't the society, why don't schools teach us how to concentrate, or even that when you're reading that you need to let your thoughts flow, or even that how to control your mind when your thoughts are overflowing, when you're jumping from one thought to another, and all of a sudden you become stressed. These things we do not get to learn them from school or anywhere, how to control your emotions, or even how to relate with people. They are almost rare. And I was wondering, what if we build also now this new society whereby we learn all these skills? We need to learn how to love, how to control our emotions. When things are not going well, how can we be empathetic with one person? Not relating with our failures. Because I personally have a challenge that, when you're doing things and they're going on well, yeah, your mood is okay. Then I go to analyze. So when my mood changes, why do I have to feel bad? When I'm doing something, maybe I'm working on a project, it fails. Why do I have to feel bad? Yeah, because we need to also learn to define ourselves, not to be defined by our successes and failures. It's something that I always want to also pass, that I'm also learning that if Emma is doing this and is achieving this here and there, it does not define who Emma is. We need Emma who's kind, who's generous, who's patient, and who's understanding. These qualities do not define Emma by what he has achieved or what he has failed. It defines who we as people are, and who as humans are, which can steer up our creative minds. Yeah, that's all.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for those powerful words, Emma. And actually, it quite resonates a lot with things that many such people have in common, which is more of being empathetic and also we're reaching out to actually help and inspire someone in our society. Thank you very much for those enlightening wise words, Emmanuel. So, when we actually are looking through your social media, Emmanuel, we noticed there's a quote you once posted from Buddha that states that the trouble is that you think, actually, let me quote it how you wrote. The trouble is you think you have time. And thinking of it, it actually resonates with quite a lot of things that happen today. Most of the times, in this age of information explosion on social media, things tend to be moving very, very fast. And we just really sit down to think on what actually makes us happy, what things give us joy when you're actually doing them in society. And well, in regards to the creative society, how we envision the working environment is more of a person, say, working 4 hours for 4 days within a week. And in regards to that, we just want to find out more of your view. Say this was the ideal setting of work and you have so much free time to yourself. How would you manage your free time? What things would you be doing then? What things do you actually do to give you joy, and what things do you love doing in your free time?
I think something, Emma is here with us, or something with internet connection. Yeah. So,
yes.
Yeah, Edmund was saying that in the creative society, the working day would be shorter. Let's say 4 hours a day, and the working week would be 4 days a week. And in this case, how would you manage your free time? What would you spend it on? And what makes you happy? What brings you joy?
Okay, well, what brings me joy is if I know that I'm living my life to, I'm making an impact on someone's life, that by the actions and things that I take, someone is benefiting in a way, not only I. Because I realized this, the different things that I always do, and then this one time when I was working on my project, and I was presenting at Makerere University. And then at the end of the presentation, I thought I'd not really made what I wanted, because the people I presented to, they are not responsive the way I wanted. I wanted to make an intern, get them to engage with me after work. But then all of a sudden, the person I'd gone with, who was the photographer, came back to me and informed me that, what, Emma, I'm really impressed. I think your presentation was meant for me. No wonder you are the person I just went with. I didn't expect you to have anything associated with my presentation. But then all of a sudden, my project was mainly about technology and all this. And it was fascinating that, Emma, I know you're not a person who's into technology, but you have both this kind of thing. I'm really impressed. I think I should also embark on my project. I was procrastinating about when to start and when to embark on it. And by your presentation, I feel like I should really start on it. Then, besides that, I would also, looking at our work environment, as Edmund was saying, I would want to learn more about how we can balance work and life. because I always find myself in a situation, how does someone manage family? You have different companies that you want to give your full time, and then you have to also give people time. You find I have this thing that I'm really working on. I want optimum concentration without considering anything. And then also I have my friends, I have my family who still want me to maybe crack jokes with them, be there for them and also inspire them. So it also brings me to understand how we can define how to balance work and life.
Thank you.
When you're working towards something that is really deeper, that you always know that there's a balance and you don't always have to go 24 or 23 hours in 2 days without looking at your family or saying a hi, just being observed, being so absorbed in your work that you also have to reconnect with people around you.
Thank you, Emma. It's really important to find this balance and to contribute during your working hours, right? And then come and enjoy this free time with your family. Thank you. And now we have a question for Tezzy, and going back to your volunteering experience. You're very active and take part in different social projects, and we would appreciate if you share more about positive examples of cooperation and mutual assistance during these projects, and on what should relationships between people be based on in the creative society. Yeah,
Yes, I feel like as you go to work for people, first of all, you shouldn't go in a way of I'm trying to, in a way that you're dominant and they are less, or you should know that we are all human. So you should go with values of friendship, with values of love, and wanting to create an impact for them. Yeah. So I feel like while I was there, yeah, it was easier to work with people while trying to be more of their friends than more of their teacher. You understand? Like, I worked better by being their friend. Like, it wasn't like the classroom of sit down, stand up, okay, say this. It was a discussion because everybody has an idea, everybody has an opinion. I also wanted to learn from them. I wanted to learn their language, okay? So I feel like everybody wants to have a safe space to speak, not feeling like someone else is above them, but everybody is on the same level. And I felt like that was something really powerful because it helped me explore more of their potentials. I actually realized that these people knew English. They just didn't have who to speak English with. They just didn't know if what they were talking about was correct. They just didn't have confidence enough. But because of that calmness and the friendliness and the love that I shared with them, they were able to feel safe. And I feel like the project ran best on that than actually the knowledge that I had. Yeah, so I feel like in whatever that we do in society, whatever we try to do in society, we need to, you don't go like, okay, I have these resources and I can help someone else. No, you go in a way that we can all be friends and we can all solve this problem as we are all human. So yeah, I think that was it for me. Yeah.
Wow, impact is one thing I really picked from you, Teze. Quite a lot from even the first answer you actually gave us in regards to the question that was raised by Taisia. So if I'm to ask him another question, well, from your profile, we saw that you actually are fascinated by the power of technology and its impact in the lives of people. And we'd just like to ask you, how do you envision technology of the future? And who is it made to serve within the creative society? Just more based from your perspective in regards to what technology and its power to actually change lives and impact communities. Yes, Emma.
Okay. First and foremost, I believe that the future is digital. No wonder we're all here on a Zoom call, on a Zoom meeting. So to me, what I would see the future of technology is, I would want the future to make sure that the essential needs, they are subsidized, the way we are able to acquire services, or maybe it could be how you're able to get the needs that you want, maybe the goods. Though me, I was mainly looking at our education system, since it's always a challenge that you find you patrolly don't have the resources, you cannot access the education that you need. But then, and it's also expensive. To me, I would look at technology being the change maker in the education sector, where students can leverage resources online at a very affordable cost. Because you're looking at, if you have East Africa, you have Africa, all these resources are uploaded on the internet. And instead of you traveling to go to South Africa, you can study from where you are. You're reducing costs already. And also mainly looking at the average person who cannot maybe afford a higher university school, is you're looking at the people who are getting all this education and the resources. They're able to share with you on the internet that you can always go and learn. Because I have a colleague who started a company that mainly teaches people in the construction sector how to work safety and health when construction. And he told me that what he did is that he learned all this on his iPhone. He was, back then he didn't have enough resources to get the laptop or to acquire these schools. He was always on his iPhone, going into these online courses, and because some of these online courses are affordable. It's like, as I giving an example last time, that I managed to get onto the courses on Udemy, and you find that different resources that you can approach. It can be a language, and you find the cost is almost less than 20, and the resources are really affordable. So you find that any person, every average person, you do not have to have this network of people around you, but you have a network already in your phone, and then you can connect to the world. Second is social media. Social media, and I'm also give an example. This is something that I also use, that how we connect with people. At times I also try to use it. There's a time when I would go through challenges, hard times, and then I would seek out mentors and just share with them my thoughts and what I'm going through, and then they give you their feedback. You're like, wow, because at times you find the people around you they don't really understand what you're going through. Then you need someone who, on a certain level, can really approach your concept or maybe your challenges and give their personal experience, who are very empathetic with you. So I had this lady who had gotten on Twitter, so it was linked. She was a coach. So we were talking, then I shared with her what I was going through. Then all of a sudden she also gave me her feedback on what her previous life challenges were. And I was like, wow, so this person managed to reach a certain level in life just because. So then that also impacts me that, you know what, Emma, whatever you're going through now, you can also be able to overcome it. And, you know, even now look at YouTube, you're able to, I don't need to meet all these big people that who are impacting the world. That's this guy, Alibaba, Jack Ma. Yes, I'm a big fan of this information. Like he's a person, he's a great leader. So you find that you're able to go to YouTube and learn his experience. You know his story. You have a lot of stories that you're going to rely on that are going to help you, that in whatever you're doing, let's say you're starting small, how you can be able to progress until a certain you make your impact in the world. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, dears. Thank you, guys. And everything you've mentioned, everything you've said resonates inside. And I'd like just to add that in order to build a creative society, a world in which every person would feel comfortable, safe, secure, we need to be united by one goal. And the basis of this goal are 8 foundations, which are described in the article, The Foundations of the Creative Society and the Stages of its Construction. And this article was published on the website Allatraunites recently. And dear viewers, you're more than welcome to read this article on ALLATRAunites.com. And today with our guests, we would like to make a short presentation of these 8 foundations and discuss a couple of them in details. So you will now see the foundations on your screen. And the first is human safety, human freedom, human life, transparency and openness of information for all, the creative ideology, development of personality, justice and equality, self-governing society. And now I pass the word to Edmund so he can present you the foundation development of personality.
All right. Thank you very much, Cecilia. I'm just going to present to you about the sixth foundation, which is development of personality. And well, within this particular segment, we basically say that every person in the creative society has the right to comprehensive development and personal fulfillment. Education should be free and equally accessible to all, creating conditions and even expanding opportunities for a human to implement his or her creative abilities and talents within the world. And well, I would also like to ask one of our participants today, more specifically in regards to education. Emmanuel, we could actually see you're very passionate about education and its impact it can actually have on societies. So just want to find out from you, how do you see the system of education in our creative society? More to it, could you please share with us how affordable or accessible it should be as per your experience and a great enthusiasm into education?
Okay. As you mentioned, why I was really more interested about education is that the background from where I come from is that I realized that I had the privilege, or maybe by my parents who could afford to take me to a good school, and currently I'm at university. But then I have my people, my other relatives whom I see, they really want to study, but then they say they have no means or access. So one of the things that I really look out is there are a lot of sponsorships that are always out there for people that they can access, but then people do not really reach out for these sponsorships. Because I was wondering, whereby you know all these sponsorships that are always outgoing there, maybe at university level, maybe different programs that students can enroll, that they can enroll for, that can help them advance in their career. For me, I would really look at creating different organizations. They may not really be organizations, but set up in communities, deep down to our villages or even communities, local councils, whereby students or young children can be called upon that they gather around and they're always taught the different basics. Because it doesn't mean that for you to go to a school, it doesn't mean that you will necessarily have the impact that you need to make in this world, but giving them the basic tools that require you to excel in life. It could be how to handle challenges, how to be able to work, because this is a thing that we always face as graduates when you're coming from university. How are you going to transform to a better employee or a person who can work and collaborate with other people on how to communicate? How can you teach the students on how to be better communicators within their communities, that you set up groups whereby they have these gatherings and they always share, and you always, with these resources, the people who have these resources, because I always wonder, like, I have all these ideas and I see these things that happen, what if you have these gatherings whereby you always share with the students and they know what is going on in the world, and they also see there's an impact, they see there. You know, when you're closer to someone who's somewhere, you feel you're also getting there. You feel empowered, rather than being in that mindset where you feel everything will never come your way. But when you have these people who are out there and they're always, maybe you've seen them go farther than you think you can go, and they're coming back out to you, and they're also helping you set up on how you can develop any ideas, listening to their ideas, what impact do they have in do they want to have in the world, and trying to shape them and build it could be their creative ideas, because I believe by the time you're still a child, that's when you're more energetic to work on the purpose that you want. You want the world you want to create, rather than waiting for us to first go and realize we messed up and we need to correct. But then not this, because the education system you just go through, it does not really impact you as a person to work on your creative mind or even develop you as a person, through your personal development, but you create a culture where students can also start learning how to read books, how to communicate, how to build teams and work together rather than always competing with each other. You know, that they always have to understand it's always have to win, someone has to lose. Then you get them that, you know, it's always one force that when you team together and everyone is unique in their different way, you don't have to first, you know, feel you're inferior to someone because maybe they have a higher status than you. But as long as your impact or your goal, you have your purpose that is well defined, that we are willing to support you in whatever you need, the information. Maybe it could be the emotional support when you're going through the challenges and you're able to listen, because I believe everyone needs a listening ear. So you're able to listen to all these people's ideas and support them. May not necessarily be the funding, but giving them your time and the ability to listen to them in a community based. I believe it can have really an impact on how people can be more creative in today's society.
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely agree. And what about you, Teze? What do you think about this foundation? How do you see education? Your mic is muted. Thank you.
Yeah. For me, on education, I mostly feel like we've had the same curriculums that have been studied since the 90s, and at this level, we have completely different problems to solve as a community and as a world. I feel like education system needs to look into that and find a way to teach children what is actually on ground right now. The world has evolved, and it's very many things in the education system, mostly here in Africa, have become irrelevant, and they need to change. So I feel like that's mostly what they need to look into, and to teach children how to live harmoniously with themselves, even with their different cultures. And yeah, I feel like that's where education should start focusing. Yeah.
Wow, and I totally agree with you, Martha. I mean, we're studying things that I think even our forefathers used to study during that time. And the world is currently changing, and we need to really adopt to it as fast as we can. So I would also like to ask both of you, I think we could start off with Martha. What other comments could you have in regards to any other foundations, any of the 8 foundations? Maybe you can choose one to just give us your view about it. We have human life, human freedom, human safety, as you can see on the screen, transparency and openness for informed, creative ideology, development of personality.
Let me deal with human safety. Let me read about human safety. Yeah. I feel like in this world, everybody needs to feel safe. It all starts with safety. Safety comes with, okay, I have food today, I have clothing, and I have shelter. That already helps you to feel safe and happy, and that's already satisfaction enough. That's what every human actually works to get. So now, when we have that safety, we won't have to actually have to steal, to rob, or all that. You understand? So governments or people in government, whatever, they need to ensure that people are safe. Everybody needs to be able to have a space where they can air out their issues. Everybody needs to have equal opportunities. Everybody needs to feel like they can access resources equally. Yeah, resources are supposed to be for everybody in the world. Some governments are monopolizing some resources, and it's very unfair, and we need to find a way as youth, as young people, and as people in society to fight governments that keep monopolizing and keeping resources to themselves, because that removes what we own. We own all of this as all of us, so it shouldn't be taken away from us. Yeah, and I feel like also people need to feel like their rights are respected. Yes, because we are human. Every human life matters, and we are all valuable. We need to feel safe in everything that we do. And yeah, I feel like that's what we all seek, and that leads us to a creative society. Yeah.
Thank you, Teze. And I totally agree with you. When we feel safe, we have no fear of tomorrow's day, the day that will come. We have no intention to violate, to cause someone harm, because I have everything I need. I can just share love and happiness and joy I have inside. I don't have a need to bother about these things. And look, we live in such a modern society, but still we see wars and conflicts around the world. Yeah. And it doesn't concern some country. It's all over the world. And we should find a peaceful way to live with each other, because after all, we all are humans. We all have the same needs, and we all have this inner beauty within us, and we should share, not divide, but share everything we have. And I'd like to ask Emmanuel if you want to comment on some of the others' foundations, please.
Okay, okay, to me, what I would want to talk about transparency and openness, of information. To me, I see nowadays with all the gadgets and the resources that we have, looking at the current technologies, that everyone is supposed to know what is actually going on in our current society, what is really trending, how can I catch up with the trends. But then you find people, the information they listen to, the different information, it may not be the right information. For me, I would really view in our current creative societies that when you have access to the information that you need, if I know I need to be a doctor, I need to be a public speaker, I need to be an educator in this world, what am I supposed to do, and which exact steps can I really follow that are going to lead me into that career path or whatever destination that you want to learn to, that you know, and you are able to access all these people that you want, that if at all you know you need to be a public speaker, how can I connect with people that are made also into this kind of society, but already know it's a society. You want a community of people who are more giving, that you also reach out to them and see how you're able to come up with solutions that are mainly you're driving towards one goal. And the other thing that I would also, besides the transparency and openness of information, the other thing that Martha was talking about, we as a society need to be open to ourselves, because I have an experience of the part of the monopoly and not understanding one another. I got an experience of a friend of mine he told me that he was fired from a job because the person there's a person who was a papa, a supervisor. She did not get along with him, and then she just decided to fire. And he could not give any complaint to the boss because the supervisor had a relationship with the boss, or they were related. They have a work experience. You're just a new employee and you've just come into the system. How do you have a voice to account to your superiors? So my whole person, I realized this. I wanted to also, we're starting a company, and these are things that we're also looking at addressing. But you do not, because of your hierarchy or maybe the profile you have, and you do not get to listen to the people below you that you feel for whatever you say is actually right, rather than also listening to someone what he has to say. So I would also look at that in our current society, that we get to understand that it's not because you hold a higher position that your thoughts and your ideas are all fine or they're even correct, better than the person that is below you. But you get to listen to each and every person's thoughts and ideas.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. And I'd like to pass the word to Edmund to ask our final question of today's live conversation, the question which we ask all our guests who join us.
Yes, thank you. So I would like to ask both Martha, Teza, and Emmanuel. It's been quite an amazing session. And the final question for today is, would you love to live in a creative society?
Definitely. Definitely. I would really love to be part of it each and every day. I'm also glad I was to be part of this ALLATRA TV. And as we continue to build a creative society, because my line is creating a community whereby everyone can be listened and heard, and I would empower that everyone gets to be a better public speaker, because this is not something that I believe that, because I always want to mention this, that I'm an introvert, but then when it comes to speaking to an audience, I can make grabs, I can make people laugh. But then it gets to me that any person can actually do this. It's not that something that you're actually born with, that knowledge that you normally say, but when you start doing it, that you get to share your story. You rather sell a story rather than just live it. Because I believe everyone, your life, your experiences, we cannot live by our own lives. When you read a book, you've lived 1,000 lives. So what if you also have a community where you always go and sit down and listen to people's amazing stories? What are the challenges, what they've gone through? Not necessarily their big stories, not a big impact they've made, but someone's challenges. It could be someone very far, but he has something to say that you get to. We have that kind of society whereby we remove this mental ideology of that for someone to have something to say, they must have achieved great things. Yeah, someone could, because I was also trying to understand this, that what if your purpose in life is actually something not really extremely big or to be the Elon Musk in this world, but your purpose is maybe impacting that next child's life. So how can you be able to make sure that you impact it? And then the other thing I was also looking at is that the life, as Edmund had said, is that you at times you waste much of our time, and the life you have is finite. It may not be small, it may not be long. I believe it is finite. It will get terminated after some period of time. So you never know when yours will be. But you make sure that, as Steve Jobs had said, that if you live each day as your last day, soon it will be your last day. So because if every time that you find someone has fallen sick, or maybe they have gone through a certain hardship, that's when they realize they need to connect with people. They need to do these amazing things. So to me, I gave it, when I realized this, because I got currently I'm in my third year, and I've so far lost 2 friends in our class. And this really changed my paradigm, that because I always wanted to share with people or maybe be there for them. But then at some point I realized that I need to be focused on my work, not connect a lot with my classmates. So what I decided was, I set a goal that at least every year, I'm going to always, at the end of every year, I'm going to send an email to each person. Because then at times you never know who's going to change your life or when my life will be terminated. At least you always make an impact. Same applies to Edmund knows why I send text messages. I normally send text, it can be morning, I can send you a good night. I don't really mind whether you give me the feedback or not, but I know I've just sent it to you and wished you the best. Yeah, and I would love such kind of society.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I think I should go next.
Yeah,
definitely,
please.
Everybody would love to be in a creative society, a society where every human life is valued, a society where there's freedom for speech, a society where people's opinions are heard, a society where everybody feels safe and there's justice, there's equality. Everybody would want to live in a society where they are not judged for who they are, but for at least what they can do. Yeah, so I definitely want to live in a society where we are all happy, where we all share love with one another. I mean, at the end of the day, people may not remember so much about what you've done, but how have you made them feel? How have you made these people feel? So I feel like we should all take on these foundations and do, at the end of the day, you need to take accountability. What have I done today to make someone else feel better? Just check on your neighborhood. Maybe there's someone, we are in the middle of a pandemic. People don't have food. Have you checked on your neighbors to know how they are? Okay, there's social distancing, but are they eating? Do they have food? So, I mean, there's a lot that we can do as people to live in this creative society that we seek to all live in. But it just takes one step, small impacts, then it comes to the theory of the 6 handshake comes in, yeah? So when I I make this person happy this morning, they'll be able to share that happiness with someone else I totally do not know. And at the end of the day, it will be a happy world that we all want to live in. And that's ideal. That's really ideal.
Thank you, dear. Guys, you made my morning, you made my day, you know, so much positive energy and so many understandings from your words. And it's true that each of us can do a lot, but together, if we imagine what we can do together, we are simply unstoppable. And I would like to thank you guys for this wonderful conversation. And now I'd like to address our dear viewers. Dear viewers, if you love this conversation as I did, please leave your comments below and share our broadcast in social networks using 2 hashtags, Allatraunites and Creative Society. And to join creative projects of ALLATRA International Public Movement, please visit our website, ALLATRAunites.com, where you see the red button Join. All you need is to fill out a very short and easy form, choose the language, leave your contact information, and volunteers of ALLATRA International Public Movement will contact you. And you can also contribute to society. Thank you so much. Thank you. I pass the word to Edmund.
Wow, amazing. Thank you very much, our dear guest, for having taken up the floor to be part of this session. And thank you to all our viewers. You can also participate more in these conversations on ALLATRA Radio, or even send in your ideas of a creative society on the email you find below this video. Also join in the 6 handshakes, because after all, the more people that actually find out about the possibility of creating a creative society, the faster we can get to implement it, me and you together as one. Thank you very much, and it's been an amazing day, and stay tuned to ALLATRA TV. Thank you.